What's going on, guys? I'm Simple Simon. Welcome to the New 50 Noob. I'm your comic book noob and I am back at Big City Comics. I've got a bunch of books to pick up today, so I'm going to show you those. But before I do, say hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. I'll show off the covers, and if we have time, I might have a bit of a chat with Mark too. So let's do this. Alright guys, so let's go through these books. Let's smash through them because the customer is about to come pouring through the door in a few minutes. So, first one, this is not even mine. Why am I showing this off? X-Men and the Fantastic Four. What's going on there? That's actually, I picked that up from my mate Stu, so let's not talk about that.
What do you mean not talk about it?
Because you know it's Marvel.
That is absolutely they're just continuing the whole Franklin Richards thing, being a mutant, and the X-Men in House of X #1 having the confrontation with Fantastic Four about Franklin. I can't wait to read it.
No idea what you just said. These are my books that I left here from last time. I didn't show up last week. I got the Black Widow Prelude here. It's a limited series of just 2 issues. Black Widow and Scarlet. Batman 88. Wait a second. Do I not have this? The cover looks so similar to Batman issue 88 there.
You're right, it does look similar.
Oh no, I think it's just, I thought it was like the first Tinian issue, but it's not. It's a few issues in. RWBY, I believe there's 7 issues, so only 2 more to go after this. I picked up both covers. Oh no, I dropped one. So good. Standard cover there, as well as the beautiful Art Germ variants. Very cool, and I will get around to reading them one day. Thor, issue 3. Still in the first story arc, so I'm gonna only collect the first story arc, Mark, just so you know.
What's that?
Unless I read it. And now I really want to read it because I heard these rumors about issue 2 hinting at a, you know what? Let's save that for Simple News. Alright, Gwen Stacy, this is a cover by. I have no interest in reading any story about Gwen Stacy. Who's the artist again? J. Scott Campbell.
J. Scott Campbell.
Very nice cover. I figured that'd be a cover by. It's got butterflies and... next, my gal, Catwoman. I'll show you the standard. I love this standard cover this time. Again, you can tell Joelle Jones, however you say it. Love the standard cover there. She's peeking through the page, guys. It's very nice. Also got the variant. Do we know who did the variant here? Let's find out. No, can't find out. That is the variant cover for Catwoman, issue 20. According to DC Previews, she's not writing the next couple of issues, I don't think, so it's a little bit upsetting. And I feel like I still need to collect it because, you know, that's my book, Catwoman. It's the first issue, the first series that I started collecting from issue 1. Batman Pennyworth, RIP. Again, have you heard much about what's going on in this book? Is it just like the life and times of, or is it just like...
I have no idea, I'm
was it just like, ooh, that was a nice book.
Not sure.
Who did the art in this? It's nice. Man, what happened to having like the name of the bloody book and stuff and story arc at the front? Bloody Tom King directed, which I actually kind of like. It's very cinematic.
I agree.
I recommend picking that up if you like some good art and you want to pay respect to Alfred. Amazing Spider-Man issue 39. Again, I feel like that cover's happened before. This cover happened multiple times in the world of Spider-Man.
Oh, who knows?
That cover looks very...
I know everyone's going to hate me and probably stop watching your channel because I'm on it, but I'm not a Spider-Man guy.
Turns out I'm not anymore either. Yeah, like I love Spider-Man as a kid, as a teenager. Like I used to like Batman and think he was cool, but Spider-Man, the story of Spider-Man really grabbed me. I picked up issue 400, The Death of Aunt May, and I read that and I was like, man, this story is amazing. And then I just kept reading it through the Clone Wars and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, as much of a noob as I am, I was around back in the day. Last book here, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. This is the last issue, thank God. I may get around to reading this one day. It depends how silly issue 1 is when I decide to read that, but that's the standard cover. And the variants are very nice, as always. Variant cover by Mark Brooks. Oh yeah, there we go, oh yeah. All right, so this is the...
Settle down.
Mark Brooks. Yeah. Look at that, that leg that carries over. Huh? Pretty nice.
Pretty nice, you like it?
Yeah.
You like?
I'm a fan,
You're a fan?
And they are my books. Hopefully that didn't take up too much time and we've got time to chat, Mark. Just the weekend just passed. If you haven't already watched my video on Days of Future Pop Culture, you should check that out. How'd it go, mate? It was your first convention.
I loved it. It was very small, but I felt like, because it was local to me, I felt like that I had to be there. And the reason I went there was just to sort of like advertise my store. you know, being in the area. It was also an experience to do my first convention. I packed the car, go there, set up. It was awesome. But you know, the people are always awesome. The organizer was great.
Sean's amazing. Yeah, I'd never been to a smaller convention, actually. Like, I've obviously only been going to the bigger ones for the last couple of years.
Sean had a really good mix too, you know. He really picked and chose, you know, he had his own artist alley. The charity is awesome that he put, so it's a non-profit event. Vintage toys, card games, you know, Pokemon. He had that Lego guy doing the Pokemon characters. That was awesome. So, you know, it was awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed myself, and I'll definitely do the next one, and I'll probably look at doing some of our bigger ones here in Melbourne.
I've only been going to conventions for just over 2 years. I think I've been to 3 Comic Cons, and I think the last 2 Supernovas. Went to a couple of Mad Fests. You've been going for a lot longer, I'm guessing. Like,
to conventions?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
I remember there was a convention when I was a kid. I'm not a kid, sorry. I was about 23.
500 years ago?
Maybe about 23.
Yeah.
What are you saying? I'm old. Yeah, I remember going to a convention and it was John Romita Jr. He signed my Frank Miller copy of Man Without Fear that he drew. He signed them all 4 issues, I think, or 5 issues, and he signed my, at the time, the Marvel cards that he did as well. But that was awesome. I was just walking around, it was like comic vendors and stuff like that. I remember there was a guy dressed as Wolverine, like in the full spandex. It was really cool.
What was that convention called?
Well, mate,
Can't remember?
Cannot remember, man. Like, but I've got photos. You should see me now. I've got photos. I've got long hair. I know, right? It was so cool, and that's as far as back as I can remember. And then, you know, go Supernova from time to time, not always. Oz Comic Con from time to time.
I was just gonna say, how have they evolved from that first one that you went
They're
to?
definitely taking the lead from the ones in America.
So back in the early one, was it very comic book focused? Was it still
Very comic book focused.
toys and
Nah, comic book focused.
cards would have been huge. Collector cards. would have
Correct.
been
Oh,
huge.
huge. Absolutely huge. I've still got folders and folders full of cards. I can't bring myself to get rid of them. But I used to buy collections, so instead of buying them packet per packet, I used to just wait till they released the collection. I used to buy them like that.
Yeah, I remember trading cards back in the day, going to Minotaur as a kid, and you'd walk into that first, the front entrance, and it was just decked out. There was comics, I think, hidden right next to the door, and then you had, the counter was just all collector cards.
Yeah,
It was insane.
Alternate Worlds was the same.
Yeah.
I was big on the movie cards. I love them.
Batman 89
Oh yeah, Batman 89.
Ninja Turtles cards.
But that was more from when I was a kid, because I've got an original set of Star Wars from, not Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and I've got Indiana Jones.
I remember Transformer cards back in the day.
Transformer
And
cards.
you'd buy the cards, and they would come with bubble gum, like some chewing gum.
Yeah, little bubble gum.
And it had the grill ones.
Yeah, and what I loved was the Battlestar Galactica ones had a massive picture on the back. You flip them and you make like a big jigsaw
Yeah, that's
puzzle.
cool.
Oh, that was cool. It was a big Viper. And then when I was older, obviously, I bought like the Crow cards.
I bought the Crow cards for the first 2 movies. I had the
First
Brandon
movie.
Lee one where he's swiping the knife away, mate. Oh.
I've got so many. I've got so many T2 cards. I've got the Terminator 2
cards.
I've got a Total Recall one, which came in a pack. The Total Recall one came in a box, and it came with Mars money. It came with a piece of Mars rock, and it came with a boarding pass. I've got so many cards, man. Then I've got the comic book ones. You know, one of my pride possessions is the Jim Lee X-Men cards, which I've got every one, and I've got the the hologram cards. Yeah.
Do you remember Wizard Comics? Didn't they used to come with
Some, yeah.
I remember having a Lady Death card, right? It was chrome.
Wizard magazine, you mean?
What did I say?
Wizard Comics.
Yeah, Wizard Magazine, sorry, yeah. It was almost like a price guide, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I had interviews before the internet. So had interviews with comic book creators, had interviews with filmmakers. It was a great magazine, and they even did special edition comics as well. Like Wizard released, comic. It was awesome. Like Wizard, and as soon as the internet hit, it just all went under really quickly too.
I wish I had a better memory, to be honest, because I was around, as much of a noob as I am, I was around and I knew some of that sort of stuff.
Mate, I wish I had a better memory too, to be honest. Not because I'm old. When we're younger, things tend to not sink in as much.
You don't realise how significant some of those, moments from your younger years are going to be later
Correct.
down the track. I never thought
No
I'd
one
make
does.
comics, you know what I mean?
No, no one does.
I definitely got to that phase when I discovered partying. Well, I was too cool for school, you know? Yeah, so I never thought I'd get back into this.
Comics?
Yeah.
That's
No. I always respected that sort of stuff, but I was never going to dedicate my time to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
I always respected people people who are into comics. I always respect art, like even anime. Like I've never been a huge anime fan, but I always was fascinated with
The art, yeah, me too.
art, and my friends
I'm the
always
same.
obviously try to make me watch a lot of them.
Never been into anime. Same manga. Akira changed everything, and then from Akira came Ninja Scroll and Ghost in the Shell, and oh man, but the birth of all that is Robotech and Star Blazers.
I did like Robotech as a kid.
Ninja Scroll to me was the bee's knees.
Yes,
Absolutely
Ninja Scroll. I didn't love it that much. Like I used to watch it. Like all my mates are into that stuff. You gotta watch My Hero Academia, dude. Like it's about superheroes, and it's about them.
I've read the first trade.
Oh, okay, really?
So I loved it.
Yeah, so it's about them going to school and learning how to pretty much become heroes.
Yeah.
It's so good, man.
How long do you think until they make a live action one?
Ooh, they've done that a lot with a lot of animes recently, and I don't watch them.
It doesn't really
But
necessarily
it fascinates me a lot because I'm like, oh, they look good. They look great. But most anime fans, I think, say they're not good.
No, well, like Attack on Titan, I was a massive fan of Attack on Titan. I thought the show, I thought it was great. The first season was absolutely fantastic. I thought this is really good. It's a modern, anime manga. It was the original, which is really hard to come by these days. And then when I watched the movie, like the live action movie, I was appalled of the story changes, plot devices that they changed from the anime, which I understand that it has to be different. I understand why, I suppose, but I don't understand the reasoning behind it. I know that sounds like a conundrum.
This guy, he's like, oh, I've never really been into anime, starts talking about Akira and Ninja Scroll and bloody Attack on Titan. I don't know anything about anime.
I don't, compared to some people, man.
Yeah.
I'm skimming the surface here. I don't keep a lot in the store. I only keep, I suppose, what I know of and what people talk about.
Do you have many people actually buy the...
Not
Because
much.
you do have a little section.
Nah, not a lot.
Definitely two separate worlds, I think.
100%.
People who are into manga, as they like to call it, often, it's rare that they're into both. Like you ask a lot of people, are you into comics? And they'll be like, yeah, I read manga, which is fine. It absolutely is a comic, without a doubt. I do have one. I have the first, I'm going to call it issue, of School Rumble. One of my favorite animes. If you haven't checked that out, you should check it out. It's totally for girls, but I love it. Alright guys, that's all we got time for today. But before I go, comic book community, you need to go sub up my boy up here. It's on 25 subscribers I think now at the time of filming this video. I want to get this guy to 50. I'm going to keep pushing him until he gets to 50 subscribers. He makes some great content. He's from the UK. He does some great haul videos. He recently just did a haul from the toy fair in his area. So yeah, check him out. Yeah, that'll do. Thank you once again for having me, Mark.
My pleasure, mate. Anytime.
It was a good chat today, eh? Until next time, guys. Say goodbye, Mark.
Goodbye, Mark.
Keep it simple.